from Createdtheottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in the UK. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to take a 5-minute crafty break together. That means that I'm going to share with you a little play idea just to take up 5 minutes of your time. So today we're just going to make a mess. I've got some watercolour card. I have already wet it, but as I'm talking it's drying out. You don't want to be wearing your best clothes when you are doing this. It is messy. If you're not a messy person, you can put some gloves on, but this is well worth doing. I love doing this technique, making a load of backgrounds and then having them ready to go whenever I need to. But I don't like getting messy, so I do a whole load of a batch in one go and then store them when they're dried and then cut them up or punch shapes out of them. So basically I'm just going to do that with you now. So when I say 5-minute craft break, I'm going to show you a before and after, but the principles are the same. You just don't have to wait for it to dry. So what do you need to do? You need some watercolour card. Now, how I choose the size of my watercolour card, I'm lucky enough to have some big sheets, slightly bigger than A4 sheets, and as I'm in the UK, I can buy those. Then what I need to do is work out what size will fit through my die cutting machine. So I know that this size, I just literally get one of my plates, I don't know if I've got it here. I lay that on and I roughly cut my paper to the size. So I know that whatever I colour on here will fit through my die cutting machine. So I've got 2 sheets because I might as well do 2 for the price of 1. I have got them wet, but I also use a spritzer, okay, just to make it really wet because I do want it really wet. Not dripping wet, as in it drips off, but I do want them wet. And I'm going to do 3 different greens: old olive, mossy meadow and garden green. And I'm going to start with the darkest, I think, which is mossy meadow. And then what I do, where's the best way for you to see? If I just put it there, I get my block. Now it's up to you, depending on how wet and dark you want it. You can spritz that. Okay, and just so that it's got a bit of movement. Move that out of the way. Now I haven't spritzed that too much, but it just gives me a bit of wiggle room, you know, like when we do tumbo. And I leave that bit dark, that's not a worry. And I just spread it around on that bit. Spread it around again, and then I put it in the ink again, and it's already still wet. I'm just literally doing patches, okay, all over my card. Now I didn't bring any kitchen roll. What am I going to do? So I'm wiping off my block in between. Okay, I've got a nice clean block again, and then I pick a different colour. Now you can do this all sorts of ways. You can, let's put that in there while I'm talking, because 5 minutes is digging. Now that doesn't look so dark, you can hardly see it on there, but that's fine. When I put some ink spritzer on there, can you see? Look. And I even like the fact that there's some white patches as well. That one I didn't put any extra water on, and that's looking really good. And what I keep doing is spreading it all over. Now it really doesn't matter if you just do blocks everywhere and you think, well, they're not merging into each other, it's not going to look good at the end. It doesn't matter. Even a pattern like that, I don't know if you can see that. So when I put it on and pull it up, it gives like a sort of leafy pattern. Can you see? Just have a play, literally have a play. So let's get the next colour. So I've used old olive, mossy meadow and garden green. So this is going to be quite a different colour again. Okay, so let's do a couple more and then I'll show you what happens. So So literally just spread it around. If you have patches like this and you really don't want them, pick up some ink with one of the water spritzers and just colour it in. If you really don't want the white patches, spread the ink around a bit and just have a play. Okay, then what you do is leave it to dry. If you're lucky enough and it's sunny outside, you just stick it outside and you leave it to dry. And then I will show you our ta-da. So then you get your dies. So this is Encircled in Nature die, and I've used this one, and I've used this one. And look, when I've die cut all the shapes out, look at all the colours that you get. They're all variegated and they literally look like leaves you've freshly picked from the garden. You've got some dark, some light, and then you can even, if you cut out some reefs, turn it into a reef card. Look at that, just layer it in the different reefs. Ta-da! 5 minutes crafty break. Go have fun and play.